Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of the Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirecTV 348, Sling, Roku, and Apple TV.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
President Trump's administration is reinforcing the ideals of self-sufficiency and personal responsibility, ensuring that immigrants are able to support themselves and become successful here in America. Our rule generally prevents aliens who are likely to become a public charge from coming to the United States or remaining here and getting a green card. Public charge is now defined in a way that ensures the law is meaningfully enforced and that those who are subject to it are self-sufficient. Importantly, this final rule has no impact on humanitarian-based immigration programs for refugees and asylees. No impact on refugees or asylees. And it clarifies the exemption for trafficking victims and victims of domestic violence. This rule will cover, for USCIS, almost 400,000 people a year whose applications to become legal permanent residents will include a meaningful analysis of whether they're likely to become a public charge or not. I do not think by any means we're ready to take anything off the Statute of Liberty.
Oh my God, America officially has a cover charge. Oh my God. All right, everybody. So even if you're here legally, they're going to look at your income status, and they're going to make sure you have first, last, and security deposit before you get your green card renewed. This is like the most amazing portion of the culture war. Okay? This is absolute madness. This is crazy. This is people who are married to American citizens. There are people out there that, you know, you're married to somebody who immigrated here, and you have signed the form saying that you are the official sponsor. You've already demonstrated that you've got at least $41,000 in income to support, your coupledom or whatever you want to call it. Well, now, even if your spouse is sponsored by you and you've demonstrated that you got the cash to support that person who doesn't have a work permit is now going to have to demonstrate that they can earn $41,000 a year, or they're going to be deemed a likely dependent. Now, if you don't have a work permit, but you're sponsored and you work, that's illegal. If you don't have a work permit, but you have to show income, how the F do you do that? This is another attack, and this is on legal immigrants. This is really sick, and they're going to do it by executive order. Okay, this particular public charge crap goes back to 1882. In order for the United States to allow a denial of a visa to anybody who's likely to become a public charge, without ever defining what a public charge is. This was about the Chinese invasion. You know, and the Chinese were so detrimental to our society that, hey, we have railroads now. You know what I mean? This is just so sick. But since 1999, immigration officers have adopted the guiding principle that a public charge is someone, quote, primarily dependent on the government for subsistence. Now, Congress has made it illegal for an immigrant to get welfare. So that's a non-starter. Immigrants don't get welfare. What we're talking about here is legal immigration. What we're talking about, and I just want to say, Ken Cuccinelli, the Cooch is an acting director. So is the Bureau of Prisons an acting director. And by the way, on the Epstein debacle. The warden of the Manhattan Correctional has resigned, and two staffers are on leave. Now, I will tell you that there are a bunch of conspiracies out there. You know, yesterday I was trying to explain to you, we have to go slow on breaking news like this. You have to go slow on shooters. You have to go slow on conspiracy theories, because obviously Jeffrey Epstein was involved in a conspiracy. Okay? He was. There was a conspiracy indictment. And so they're hunting for Ghislaine Maxwell now. They're hunting for her. Everybody's got to find her. Everybody's got to identify the people who helped him traffic these girls. Everybody. The police are going to have to do it. The civil attorneys are going to have to do it. You know, the victims have moved into the civil arena. And you got the New York, SDNY in New York. They're still, looking at the conspiracy indictment, and they're trying to find all the people that enabled him. So please go slow. I will say I got a ginormous amount of email yesterday about, articles in the New York Post. The New York Post. I know. But it quotes a friend. It quotes a friend of John Gotti, dearly departed Gotti, right? It quotes a friend of his saying that when he used to visit John Gotti, he knew that there were tons of guards on the take, and that if you had some money, you could get anything you wanted. In fact, John Gotti got Peter Luger's, which is a very famous steakhouse in New York. It's delicious. It's unbelievable. It's over the top, and it's very freaking expensive. But that he got Peter Luger's delivered to him whenever he wanted it, a la Goodfellas, right? He's got some lobsters, and, here's some wine. Now we can eat. You know what I mean? And a very good system for cutting the garlic. Very good. Razor thin so it would dissolve in the olive oil. So that's what that's what his friend is saying, and that Epstein could not have killed himself without somebody bringing him the I don't know, rope or sheets or whatever. And no one knows. This is I heard. This is a story where John Gotti's friend heard from a friend that, come on, we got to go slow here, because this is the most disgusting friend that Trump has ever had. And we want to make sure that whatever bubbles up, whatever information becomes known, knowable, and factually checks out, that it is something that America understands is true, that America understands, Trump knew about, that he was, watching while all this was going on, that it was this is the kind of thing. And if it was Dershowitz, if it was, what's his name, Richardson from New Mexico, where Epstein did have a mansion, the Zorro Ranch, still does. So he was the governor of New Mexico, and wouldn't it make sense that, maybe he visited one of the billionaires? And I don't know, but you can't just put this crap out there. Right now, what we got is a culture war filled with conspiracy theories by the president of the United States. There are countless hours that could be filled with these conspiracy theories that Trump has poured into the brains of QAnon, poured into the brains of maggots, poured into the brains of Cult 45, poured into the brains of Al Qaeda, the base. He was the original Papers, Please. He was the original birther, right? Vince Foster, Hillary Clinton had him killed. The Clintons killed Epstein. Ted Cruz's dad killed Kennedy. He loves murder. He's fascinated by murder. He's also fascinated by human trafficking. He's made up conspiracies about women in vans with tape around their mouth. He's taken scenes out of Day of the Soldado and, made them into like true stories with his crazy rantings. He says Joe Scarborough killed his intern. Antonin Scalia was murdered. He's a vaxxer. He says vaccinations cause autism. Hurricane Maria, he says only 6 to 18 people died. It's a lie that 3,000 people died. He said that, he saw Muslims celebrating 9/11. He saw them dancing in the streets in New Jersey. You cannot see New Jersey from Trump Tower in Midtown Manhattan. But he saw it. They celebrated. The guy is full of garbage.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.